Nongcebo McKenzie, and this is the podcast, Sawubona. Every fortnight, a guest joins us for a conversation or to share a story. It's a pleasure to share these with you and to have you with us. Welcome, Ngiyakwamukela, to another episode of Nongcebo McKenzie, the podcast. Today we're joined by the CEO of Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Sihle Ngcamu. Mr. Ngcamu, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, and thanks for having me in your episode, Nongcebo.
So it's been a year that you've been at the helm of Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal. Let's reflect on the past year.
Yeah, it's been an exciting year. For me, yes, you are correct. I started formal appointment as a CEO of the entity in September last year. Now is the end of September, so it's been really a very interesting journey of 12 months. I think as an entity, we have really been successful on a number of areas. Obviously, our main thrust is to really make sure that we create jobs, we attract investments, and we also retain businesses. And I think in the past year, we've been really able to ensure that the businesses that were pledged in the last conference have really progressed very well in ensuring that they are on the ground and creating jobs. But also we've managed to achieve our clean audit in the last financial year, stabilize the entity in terms of issues of governance, and I think we have also come up with a very exciting 2025-2030 strategy for trade investment that will really ensure that the entity is well positioned to support businesses in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and grow the province of KwaZulu-Natal inclusively in terms of ensuring that all the areas of KwaZulu-Natal are getting investment opportunities and are supported by TIKZN.
So, Mr. Ngcamu, you've just shared with us the highlights of the past 12 months with regard to what you've been able to achieve as i-Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal. Kodwa ake sowubheke uwonke ke manje umsebenzi we-Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal, your mandate.
Yeah. No, i-Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal is tasked with ensuring that we grow the economy of KwaZulu-Natal. And how we do that is we need to identify our investment opportunities within the province. And once we've identified those opportunities, we must package them to investable projects and then promote those projects to the potential investors. So that's really the main thrust of our work. And then the second thrust is to really ensure that we increase the export capacity of the province. And how we do that is really by actually delivering on two programs, where it's export development, which is more on training, and export promotion, wherein we open up markets for the products that are produced in KwaZulu-Natal. That is now access to markets. Then it's not only important to attract new investments into the province. What is also critical is to make sure that the existing businesses were able to retain them and then increase their competitiveness so that they can then expand. So we also are deploying programs that are ensuring business support and business retention. Now, all of this is really governed by us having to harvest intelligence information in terms of what is happening globally, how are the market dynamics changing, and our knowledge management unit are supporting us with intelligence information in terms of sectors of growth that we need to focus on, but also what are the key markets that we need to focus on. So really our main mandate is to make sure that we attract investments, we promote KwaZulu-Natal as a premier destination for both trade and investments, and we also support businesses that are already existing in KwaZulu-Natal.
So in 2024, you held a highly successful KwaZulu-Natal Investment Conference, achieving investment pledges of 85.2 billion rand.
Yeah, no, this year we are really excited that we are having the 2025 KwaZulu-Natal Investment Conference at the backdrop really of a very successful conference that we had last year, wherein we managed to have 85.2 billion worth of pledges. What is exciting is not necessarily just the numbers of pledges, right, but what is really exciting for us is how do these pledges translate to meaningful jobs on the ground. Right. We are really excited that and happy to really that these investors that pledged last year, 80% of them have already commenced with construction. Some of these investors are already operational. I mean, West Town is one of the investments, the West Town Mall, and it's already operational. Club Med, 2.3 billion investment is already under construction and is going to be opening up next year. And you also have got Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Mall in Bangeni, which is also nearing completion in terms of its development. So a number of these developments are already in construction, creating jobs for people, but also growing our economy in a very, very diverse way in terms of the sectors. So we're building on the success of that particular conference. Hence, our theme is really about building resilience, inclusivity, and ensuring that there is a global competitive KwaZulu-Natal in terms of the growth of its economy. Now, this year we're creating really another platform wherein you will have investors converging with the policy makers, academia, and also we'll have government coming in to really start talking about how do we ensure that KwaZulu-Natal grows further together. And how do we ensure that KwaZulu-Natal grows inclusively, and how do we ensure that we tap onto the new sectors like renewable energy sectors, technology, so that our province is not left behind in terms of its growth. So this conference is again going to create that particular platform of engagement, collaborating, and ensuring that we really come up with ways of growing the economy of KwaZulu-Natal in a collective way.
So talking about the pledges that were made last year, and you've given examples as to the progress on some of those, do they get a turnaround, or rather is there a turnaround time that is set that when pledges are made, that they come to fruition within a certain time?
Yeah, so the 2024 pledges, we had two criteria. So firstly, it was investments from 500 million and above. And then secondly, it was that the investment needed to touch the ground in terms of commencement of construction within 24 months. So that was the criteria. Now, and that has happened, and we're excited that that has taken place. This time around, we have a target of 95 billion. And our criteria for this year, we are looking for investments from 100 million and above. And these investments must touch the ground and start commencing construction within 36 months. And why have we then lowered kind of like or reduced our range of investments from 500 million to 100 million? It's because now we are starting to create value chains into these investments, and also ensuring that the SMMEs and up-and-coming emerging investments are also taking part into this whole conference. So 100 million will really capture a number of investments that could not have been captured if we had 500 million. So we're now creating value chains for bigger investments so that then there's that integration. The 36 months is really informed by us having learned from the process of the last years that the number of processes and some of them there are delays, yet we've put in up systems that will ensure that we support these investments. But 36 months, give or take, is a good time for projects to look at their EIA approvals, their water use, their change of land use applications. So that is our benchmark, that in 36 months, those projects would have been cleared in terms of all those approvals that they may require. And we are collaborating with municipalities, we are collaborating with relevant departments that are ensuring that these approvals are in place. Now, these projects, once they have pledged, and that's why we are inviting all potential investors to really come and pledge their projects, because once they have pledged these projects, they get elevated to catalytic projects. And we then put up systems around them to ensure that they really are being fast-tracked and they are monitored quarterly to ensure that they create the jobs that they promise to create. They touch the ground within the time frame that we have put in place, and then they get all of that support. So we're really calling for investors to come and log in and in our website and put in their pledges there.
So the timing of the KwaZulu-Natal Investment Conference 2025 is quite opportune because it's being held a month before the G20 summit, which will be hosted in South Africa under the theme Solidarity, Equality, Sustainability. Now, earlier on in our conversation, you mentioned that part of the positioning of KwaZulu-Natal with regard to a trade and investment destination is obviously its strategic assets as well as its positioning as a gateway to the rest of the continent. Now, when you look at the interrelation between the theme and the hosting of the G20 summit and the Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal's mandate and also then the actual conference itself, surely there are tie-ins there.
No, definitely. We have aligned our theme and the conference itself to the South Africa G20 presidency's theme. Also, if you look at our conference itself, it will have plenary sessions, it will have panel discussions, it will have exhibitions, it will have deal rooms. All of those, they are tied to ensure that even the G20 theme is captured in there. In the discussions, we'll have relevant speakers that will really be talking about South Africa and how it has positioned itself for the G20, but in particular KwaZulu-Natal. And why KwaZulu-Natal? We think that it was critical for us to really do our conference as a prelude to the G20 is because of our position as a gateway to Africa. In terms of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we think that with our two ports, busiest ports in Africa, the Richards Bay port as well as Durban port, we are really positioned to be able to move goods to the 1.4 billion population in Africa. Now, our theme and our program is really about solidarity, ensuring that there is very, very clear partnerships between public sector as well as private sector in terms of growing the economy of KwaZulu-Natal, and issues of sustainability, wherein we are encouraging projects that are going to be sustainable, not only in terms of longevity, in terms of them being sustainable in the long term, but also being environmentally friendly to our province and ensuring that they don't leave our province with harmful substances and so on. So we have adopted all the principles of the theme of the G20 and embedded it into our conference. Even the panel discussions will also be capturing and leveraging on that.
Mr. Ngcamu, we're on the final stretch, the final countdown to the KwaZulu-Natal Investment Conference 2025. It's happening in just a few weeks. Your final call to the investment community?
No, we are calling upon all potential investors to come to our conference and participate in our conference. We think that we have lined up great platform for engagement and collaboration through the exhibition area to showcase the products. But also, I think this time around, we have also created what we call a world stage, wherein there's going to be a lot of linkages, a lot of networking sessions that are going to be happening there, especially around the deal room, wherein we'll give potential project promoters an opportunity to present their projects to the investment development agencies and funding agencies. And all of that is going to be happening during the 22nd to the 24th of October during the conference. So we call upon investment pledgers and investment community to come and continue to pledge. We have received some pledges, but we want more pledges to come in. And again, for us, it's not about the number. It's really about us realizing the jobs and really reducing the unemployment rate in our province. So potential investors can visit our website at www.TIKZN to come and pledge.
Mr. Ngcamu, thank you for being with us and all the best for the 2025 KwaZulu-Natal Investment Conference.
Thank you so much, Nongcebo.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the podcast. Remember, you can like the episode and share the podcast link, as well as listen to more episodes on the channel. Subscribe to the channel for more. Siyabonga. Thank you for listening.